Support for this podcast comes from St. Alphonsus Sports Medicine, offering services for sports injury and recovery, with physicians and athletic trainers who provide treatment for fractures, dislocations, sprains, strains, and other sports-related issues. More information on services at stalphonsus.org. So you can't see this, but hopefully you can hear it. Behind every Boise State Public Radio podcast is a team working hard to bring you stories that matter. So if you value podcasts like this one, please support them. Hit donate at boisestatepublicradio.org. Thanks.
From Boise State Public Radio, this is The Connector. It's Idaho's Daily News. Good morning. I'm George Prentice. It is irrigation season, and that means gardens coming to full bloom. It also means extra caution around our canal system. We've got that story. Plus, we'll tell you why it's a pretty big deal that Norma Parker just picked up her high school diploma in eastern Idaho. You'll want to hear that story. It is Thursday, the 9th of April. Here we go with today's news. Airmen from the Idaho National Guard have now been deployed to support the war in Iran. And Julie Lucaton has details.
The news comes as Trump this week threatened Iran for not reopening the Strait of Hormuz. In a social media post Tuesday, he warned that, quote, a whole civilization will die, never to be brought back again, and then later announced a 2-week ceasefire.
Airmen from the 124th Fighter Wing of the Idaho Air National Guard deployed in late March, early April to the U.S. Central Command Area Responsibility in support of Operation Epic Fury.
That's the Guard's Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Borders. He says he's not authorized to share more. The 124 Fighter Wing crew, based at Goen Field in Boise, is frequently called for overseas deployments to support ground operations. Borders says the only aircraft used by the Idaho National Guard is the A-10 Thunderbolt.
The A-10, affectionately referred to as the Warthog, is the aircraft of choice for ground troops for close air support to engage the enemy that they're facing on the ground. It's an attack aircraft.
The Pentagon declined to share more information. Julie Luqueta, Boise State Public Radio News.
In the Wood River Valley, a big change is being proposed regarding law enforcement. When the Ketchum City Council meets later today, they will be asked to consider a break with the Blaine County Sheriff's Office. If approved, it would be a big impact to both the county and the county's largest city. Ketchum's contract with the Blaine County Sheriff's Office is about $1.9 million. All of this comes about a week after Blaine County Sheriff Morgan Ballas had a press conference, and he called senior Ketchum officials, quoting here, conniving and malicious, adding that shifting to a Ketchum Police Department would be a risk to public safety. If the Ketchum City Council votes today to cancel its contract, a transition to a new Ketchum Police Department would take about 120 days. Today's meeting of the Ketchum City Council gets underway at 5:30 p.m. Irrigation season is here. That means the possibility of greener lawns, gardens in blooms, and time outside. Monica Esquivel has more on what we can expect, more importantly, on how to stay safe around our region's canal system.
The Nampa and Meridian Irrigation District, or NMID, serves approximately 69,000 acres in Ada and Canyon counties. On Monday, they began moving water from their storage reservoirs into the canal system. A typical water season runs from mid-April to early October, but water availability and season length depends on what happens in the winter. And this year, we didn't get a lot of snow.
We were referring to as the snow that is up in the mountains. That's the water that we rely on throughout the irrigation season.
That's David Duval, the water superintendent for the irrigation district. He says it's too early to tell if the light snowpack will mean water restrictions or a water shortage, but says they try to conserve water with system maintenance. Canals can be dangerous during this time because they run fast, cold, and are difficult to get out of. David says staying on the sidewalks around them is key.
They're paved, and it's the city or the county that's inviting them out there, not the irrigation district. But there's designated pathways that people can walk on and enjoy the scenery.
It can take some time to fill the canals, but NMID is expecting water to be at capacity by April 15th. Monica Esquivel, Boise State Public Radio News.
Now, to the rising cost and volatility of reinsurance, part of why homeowners across the region are seeing their premiums shoot up. As Murphy Woodhouse tells us, several scholars propose a much bigger role for the federal government.
First, here's Philip Mulder, one of the proposal's authors and assistant insurance professor at the Wisconsin School of Business, with a crash course on what reinsurance is.
In the simplest terms, insurance for insurers.
As insurance protects homeowners against losses, reinsurance protects insurers against massive claim payouts. And because the U.S. government is able to borrow at such favorable terms, he says that could mean lower reinsurance costs.
And we're hoping that will make the premium that you pay more affordable.
Mulder says the proposal is not a silver bullet or without potential pitfalls. But without significant intervention, he says, the current situation is one headed toward increasing turbulence in the homeowners insurance market. For the Mountain West News Bureau, I'm Murphy Woodhouse.
Now to eastern Idaho, where Norma Parker has just picked up her high school diploma. Norma attended St. Anthony High School, but records indicate she got married, and before she could finish class, she had to move to Salt Lake City with her husband, who was going into the Army. He was going to serve in World War II. After the war, Ray returned to work at INL, where he was employed for 35 years. Ray has since passed. He died in 2009, and now Norma is getting her long-awaited diploma from St. Anthony High School. Norma is 100 years old. She will be 101 in July. And that is today's episode of The Connector. I'm George Prentice. If you can help out our spring membership drive, oh my goodness, we would be oh so grateful. You can do just that at BoiseStatePublicRadio.org. We'll see you back here tomorrow, Friday, for another Connector. I'm George Prentice. I'll see you then.
If you like podcasts like this, explore more from the Boise State Public Radio podcast family. There you'll find a mix of daily news, Idaho Voices, and in-depth series on a wide range of topics. I'm talking wild horses, political scandals, sustainable ranching, and militia groups in a post-January 6th world. Wherever you get your podcasts, just search Boise State Public Radio to find what Idaho's NPR station has in store for you.